the Two Fat Guys movie marathon, getting our Star Wars on all in one day. All in one day. What a surprise! After the last two, thought that we were through. What can we say? What can we say? When we found a new order to watch these films online, seemed a good excuse to rewatch these flicks. Hopefully, watching this way will make the series shine. Watching 4, then 5, then 2, then 3, then 6. What about 1? Forget about 1, 'cause it blows. So we needed a theme song that wasn't too long. Guess this will do. Guess this will do. We hope that Disney, so wise and prestigious, isn't litigious and doesn't sue. We love John Williams. Doesn't sue, doesn't sue, doesn't sue, doesn't sue, doesn't sue, doesn't sue, doesn't sue. Please don't, please don't, please don't sue. What is that? It's a spaceship. Well, we don't have a spaceship. I don't know how to animate a spaceship. But it's the beginning of Star Wars. Well, whatever. I'm just gonna cut to us.
Hey, we're Two Fat Guys.
And we're back! We survived.
Barely. Just barely. As you can see from our DC Dementia wrap-up.
Yeah.
Or post-mortem, as I like to call it. We barely made it. Skin of our teeth.
Yeah, but we're about to start another marathon. It's not going to be nearly as...
Much shorter.
as long as the other one. In fact, it's only going to do one day.
We're going to stick our toes in the water here. We're not going to jump whole hog in. Is that a thing? Jump whole hog?
It is now.
We'll fix it in post. Right. So, speaking of post, we have some fancy new equipment we're using here.
We do.
We used the camera on the last one, right?
Yeah,
so.
we have the camera on the last one. We have a nice recorder, so the audio won't be so crappy.
And last but not least, Action Cam!
Clayton's on Action Cam. So if that shot was awful...
To remind you...
It's Clayton's fault.
Clayton is on Action Cam. So...
Our marathon. We're doing Star Wars. It's a little film some of you may have heard of.
It's a little art house indie film.
Yeah, it's so we're gonna watch it for you. So
tasteful
I'm gonna tell you about it because a lot of people probably haven't heard of Star Wars or the sequels, the lesser known sequels.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were direct to video back then.
That
it was
sounds
like
about
bootlegged
right.
only.
Direct to Laserdisc or something.
Yeah, I mean there are puppets in it. It's just a little weird.
Yeah,
it gets weird.
But yeah, everyone has heard of Star Wars except not. I have a friend who has not seen...
Wait, whoa. You have a friend?
I know.
What?
I know that's the shocking part of this story.
I don't believe it.
I have a friend, her name is Holly. She has not seen any of the Star Wars movies. She has seen parts of The Phantom Menace.
Best one.
Obviously. But other than that, she has no Star Wars exposure.
So wait, you tell me someone could see a few parts of the amazing film Episode 1 and not immediately see all the rest of the Star Wars? That makes no sense.
I know that's shocking. Good investment.
I wanted to make sure that Clayton wasn't sleeping on the job.
So she had not seen any of these, so we decided now would be a good time to try out, a while back, many months back, I read an article online that talked about an order to watch the films that is the best way for newcomers. Because there's two real options that you would think would be, do you watch the original trilogy first and then the prequel trilogy? Or do you watch them in, as George Lucas intended, 1 through 6?
First off, never do anything that George Lucas wants. That is the first and most important rule. But also, you're forgetting the much more important and unless this works out very well, the order I will be showing my children, 4, 5, and 6, and that is all the Star Wars movies they made, kid. It's a terrible tragedy.
Yes, it is a total viable option to just watch the originals. In fact, they have despecialized editions now.
Which are we watching those? Can we do those?
Not for this, because this is the one that we're going to take everything that George Lucas has put out and try to make the best of it. That's the goal of this marathon.
But I want despecialized.
We'll get that at some point when I figure out how to get it off of my computer. So obviously there's the just 4, 5, and 6, but let's say you really want to watch the full saga, and
I won't say it.
if you wanted to, perhaps.
what would be the best way to watch them? Well, this order. There's one order that was called the Ernst Richter order, I believe, something to that effect. But it's essentially episodes 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and then 6. And this makes it so you end on Return of the Jedi, which is always good. It's the big climax of the trilogy, or the saga.
Septology.
Yeah.
Sexology? Sexology.
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 Action came. And you still start with episode 4. You start with the one that started it all.
So it's a turd sandwich, nice bread, and then
Yeah, but then also you get at the right after the big revelation. Oh, there will be spoilers in this one, not in the videos going forward.
Spoilers. I can't spell spoilers backwards.
The reveal of Vader as Luke's father, you get that right at the end of episode 5, and then you kind of go backwards, watch all of the history of Anakin Skywalker, and then bring those two sagas together, the trilogies together for Return of the Jedi. However, one man took it a little further and came up with the Machete order, which is 4, 5, 2, 3, 6.
Is that named after the movie Machete?
No, it's the man's blog is called Machete Juggling, or No Machete Juggling, or something to that effect.
We should come up with a better title. I don't care if you came up with it. That's a terrible title for...
Well, it exists on the internet now. So yeah, it's the Machete order. So it eliminates the Phantom Menace, which...
The Odyssey version? Is that how the Odyssey works? It's in media res, right? And I feel like they jump back.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking to Action Camera Clayton.
Well, ignore Action Camera Clayton as much as we can.
Pro tip, Action Clayton is a terrible superhero.
And also a bit of an oxymoron, I feel. Anyway, Machete order eliminates Phantom Menace. And it's not just because, oh, Phantom Menace sucks, we don't want to watch it. There's actually a lot of fantastic reasons to remove it. One, it serves no purpose, story-wise. Anything that is introduced, any character that is introduced, is either dead by the end of it, is completely unimportant, or is reintroduced in episode 2 in the first 5 minutes, or through the opening crawl. And it fixes a lot of weird things that happen with the prequel trilogy. It makes it so you don't see Anakin as a kid, because no one, it doesn't matter what Darth Vader was like when he was 9.
Counter argument: wizards.
Yes, there are downsides.
You're not going
Wizards
to get,
no Liam Neeson.
Without watching episode 1, you're not going to be able to fully enjoy the Star Wars Robot Chicken specials. How come nobody says wizards anymore? Jar Jar Binks hunting Anakin.
Yeah,
well, you'll get a little bit of that.
That is the best.
Honey!
The best thing to come from the Star Wars prequels is the robot chicken. I'm
just going to counter argument you along the way.
I don't. For the whole marathon?
Whole marathon, I'm going to talk against what we're actively doing.
That seems odd. What else does it do? It creates better... Well, for eliminating that, what are we doing? Lost my train of thought.
Talking about eliminating episode 1.
Right.
And what it actually... Why it doesn't matter.
Yeah, for those reasons. Like, there's no story reason for it to be there. Like, it's all about trade disputes and
pod racing.
And pod racing, which serves no purpose, because then once you eliminate that, episode 2 is just about planets wanting to back out of the rebellion, which is a lot simpler and makes more sense and just kind of cuts to the chase. It's something that you can get right away.
You said rebellion, not republic.
That's the same thing. The other people feel that the rebellion is, they don't want that either.
Okay.
Like, we don't want the Republic. Whoa, also, we really want the Republic. If it's the E.T. planets.
Sounds like Newt Gunray if I ever heard it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but aside from eliminating one, this also, it hopefully will actually make Return of the Jedi better. By introducing more tension that is kind of lost in the original trilogy, where there's the whole tension of, oh, Luke Skywalker he could turn bad. The Emperor's trying to get him to turn to the dark side there at the end, but you don't really feel like he's going to. Like, there's nothing to that point where you're like, yeah, Luke Skywalker, that sounds like a guy who's gonna watch his friends get murdered and turn to the dark side. Like,
they kept it Luke Starkiller, maybe.
Yeah.
Then maybe.
But yeah, there's not really a whole lot of tension there. However, if right after the revelation of, hey, Vader's your father, we go back, just watch episodes 2 and 3, where there's young Anakin being trained by Obi-Wan, we watch his downfall, and then go right into Return of the Jedi, where Luke is now dressed in black, force choking Jabba's guards, like coming in, threatening Jabba, like not being Mr. Nice Jedi anymore. There's a lot more plausibility of the fact that he might turn to the dark side, so it kind of creates a lot more tension there. Hopefully, is the goal.
Well, we'll see. That's why we have the very important control for this, because it's never going to work on us. We know most of the facets of the movies. We're nerds. We know our Star Wars. Mm-hmm.
So that's why we decided to do this marathon, because we have someone who's going in fresh. Like I said, relatively fresh. Had seen parts of The Phantom Menace, but tomorrow, because we wanted to get this out of the way without her present, so we could talk about the spoilers and all that stuff. But we'll do a video with her beforehand, so we kind of get a baseline of where she's at.
We're going beforehand too?
Yeah.
So many videos. I don't envy any of you.
Well, hopefully they won't. We're not going to do 40 of them. Like, yeah, every 12 minutes of the we were going to check in with Holly and be like, so what do you think? It's Star Wars, right?
AT-AT fell, right?
That's what every girl loves when she's watching Star Wars for the first time with a couple of fat nerds, is to be asked every 12 minutes what she thinks of it. If there's one thing in this world that I know, it's that.
How much your mother did it?
Well, I know they did Star Wars, but...
Well, I mean, he was bothering her while she was watching it. He wanted to know what she thought. And
well, yeah.
It's a thing.
That's kind of all I have to say. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to get underway. These will go up at some point. I don't know when this is going up, but...
Right now. It's
well, yeah.
Now it's now.
When will then be now?
Sue, we should watch Spaceballs instead. Can we watch Spaceballs 5 times?
What? To really, it's the Machete order of Spaceballs. You go Spaceballs the movie, then Spaceballs the movie, Spaceballs the movie, Spaceballs the movie, and then you go back and do Spaceballs the movie.
And then a week later, you do Spaceballs the novelization written by R.L. Stine.
Yep. And then you sit quietly and weep that you don't that there's not Spaceballs 2, the search for more money, and Spaceballs 3, the search for Spaceballs 2.
The Action Cam Man did... That's a much better name, Action Cam Man. The Action Cam Man did point out to me just now that we could do...
Action Cam!
We could...
You didn't look with me. Now I feel dumb.
Good. I've been sort of giving asides to the Action Cam, so that was your one. You get one.
Mine was way more obvious.
It's true. We could do the Family Guy Star Wars and the Robot Chicken specials. Although I must say,
sure, we did end those other ones on some animated films.
I'm not saying tomorrow, but at some point.
Tomorrow.
The thing, just really quickly on the Family Guy Star Wars special, it really struck me that they cut down the story to about 42 minutes. And I didn't notice anything missing. I couldn't tell you a thing that was missing. Except for like a bunch of scenes with random AT-ATs in the background, lasers just firing in the air. And like 4 musical numbers per movie.
Yeah, they really trimmed that down nicely.
So possibly, we'll see.
Yeah, at some point I'm sure we'll
but I feel like we should have done like a scrolling text at the start of this video, like... But
I could, maybe I did.
Oh shit! Did you?
I don't know.
When will now be then?
I don't now. I don't know if I did that or not. So if I did do that, I hope you liked it.
Then you will have done that. Time travel tenses, right?
So I hope you enjoyed our scroll. If not, I hope that you forgive me for being lazy.
That's my mama.
That's how we're gonna end it.
That's one of my many good phrases.
Well,
It's
Brandon's,
super late. I have like no sleep. I had work today.
Brandon is dead. So we will we'll check back in with the next video, and we'll introduce Holly.
Han shoots first.
Spoilers. Well, no, not in the versions we're watching.
Damn it!
That. Oh yeah, no, I think we should say now. I'm gonna. So it's on camera, on record. For the newcomer's sake, we should not groan every time that there's a little change, like no added to the Return of the Jedi.
Shut up!
Yeah, we are watching the Blu-ray release, the version of the Blu-rays that came out. So yeah, it is everything that George Lucas has himself put out, and we're going to see if we can salvage it. If the order will actually, that's our challenge. For her, it's seeing if the order will make it so she'll like it. For us, it's seeing if the order will make us be able to tolerate the changes.
Full disclosure, there's a good chance during the earlier episodes I'll pull up the South Park episode about George Lucas and Steven Spielberg ruining classic films.
Yeah. So see you click the next video and meet Holly.
Or don't, or whatever. Life's meaningless.
It's got dark.
That's how when you talk about Star Wars Blu-rays, things get dark.